Good morning. This is Monday morning, Memorial Day. It is our last hunt before we head back home, so hopefully we'll have some success this morning. We had to wrap it up early yesterday because of the storms. It really didn't get as bad as the weather said it was going to, but it was still, thunder and lightning, and it wasn't safe to be in the stand. A hog came in earlier, a few minutes before the feeder went off, and there was no corn from last night, so he sniffed around and he left. But as soon as the feeder went off, he came back out, and I just shot and I got him. I'm kind of iffy on my shot because I felt like it was good. He was quartered to me a lot instead of away from me, but I felt like the shot was good. But when he left, the arrow was sticking out of him. It wasn't a good pass through or anything. So I'm kind of iffy, but I don't know. I hugged the shoulder pretty good, or I felt like it. So I'm gonna give him about an hour. Usually, if I feel like the shot's really good, I'll give him about 30 minutes. But I think I'm gonna give him about an hour.
Another exciting morning. Those pigs came about 10 minutes too early, and the feeder hadn't gone off yet, so they came and sniffed around for a few minutes, and then they left. Right after that, Crystal sent me a message telling me that there was one that came over there. It was a totally different group. They didn't have time to come over here, and the description of the pigs didn't match. But you see, that one I shot with the rifle yesterday, I thought I probably hit her low because of the grass, but I hit her high because of the grass. So, the deer just finished eating up all the corn. I'm gonna start gathering my stuff up, and she was worried about the shot. She said it was quartered to her a little bit, but the way that she hugged that shoulder, and it looked like at least half the arrow was in the hog, so it looked like a big bore. And you know, they kind of have a plate over their shoulder. It's really hard to shoot through. So I'm glad her poundage is cranked up pretty high. But I'm sure at least half that arrow got in there. She may have even gotten a heart shot this time. Anyway, I'm gonna gather all my stuff up and get down and get to tracking.
Okay, so it's been a pretty eventful morning. About 30 minutes after I shot that one hog, there was another hog that was on his way back in. It almost looked exactly like the other one, but just a tiny bit smaller. He came about halfway and then grunted and went back the other way, so I don't know what the deal was. I kind of think he crossed the path with the one that I shot, and it spooked him or something. I don't know, but he freaked out and turned around and went back the other way. But there was another group that just came in. Yesterday, there was a mama and some babies that came to the feeder by the cabin, and James shot at the mama and hit her high and didn't kill her. And he told me earlier that they were back at the other feeder, but the feeder hadn't gone off yet, so there was no corn, and they left. Well, they just came to this feeder. The babies did. I didn't see Mama. I waited a little bit to see if Mama came out, and I don't know if she's not around or if she was hanging out in the distance after being shot yesterday, but I shot one of the little ones. I shot a little brown one. I was wanting to get one of the black ones because it was a little bit bigger, but he turned right after I drew, so I shot one of the little brown ones. So it's not going to be much meat, but at least we'll get another hog down. You know, there's so many of them out here. So I'm going to still wait. James said there was some deer at his feeder, and the corn was just about gone. So as soon as they eat up all the corn, he's going to come over here and help me retrieve these hogs. So I'm going to sit here a few more minutes. The animals are active this morning, so who knows? I may see something else soon, but I'm going to sit here for a few more minutes and wait for James to get here, and then we'll start retrieving these hogs. Okay, so it's been an hour, so I've just got down from the stand, and I'm fixing to go to the feeder pen, and I'm going to start looking for the blood trails. Okay, right off the bat when I first got here, it looks like the little one that I got him in the gut. Right off the bat. I see, I hadn't even looked for the big one yet, but it looks like I got guts. I may have killed him. Let's see. I guess I'll look for him first. All right, I'm gonna look at the other one before I leave, but you could tell it's a pretty decent blood trail so far. Okay, so we're back at the truck, or the kids and I are. James is still looking for the little one. But it's so frustrating. We found the blood trail for the little one, and we tracked it for quite a while, and there was quite a bit of blood. But after tracking it for some time, I saw him in a distance running. So he wasn't dead yet. We bumped him, and James ran and took off with his gun and was going to try to catch up with him to see if he could shoot him. And so far I haven't heard anything, but so we know, we've confirmed that that one is wounded. It's going to die, but I don't know if we're going to be able to track him to be able to finish the job. That's frustrating. I don't ever like to do that with any animal. And as far as the big boar, we couldn't find much of a blood trail after we left the feeder pen. I was afraid that was going to happen because when he ran off, he still had the arrow in him. And so there's no blood. There's no blood coming out. So I walked around in the back a little bit, and we walked around and tried to search for him. We might do a little bit more searching, but so far I haven't had any luck. So now we're back at the truck kind of waiting to hear from James, and we're going to go from there. So we'll see. It doesn't look like, it doesn't look good right now. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to retrieve either one of them, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Well, a little bit of a disappointing ending. We looked for about 2 hours. We found one of them, the little one, had the arrow sticking out of it, and somehow it was still able to run off.
I could have swore he was bleeding good, but
he was bleeding good, and we were able to follow the blood trail about 100 yards at least, or further. And she saw it.
Took off. We bumped them.
Yeah, we bumped it.
Went across on someone else's property, it looked like. So.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
We're really disappointed about the big one because it would have had a lot of meat on it.
Yeah. I worried when I shot him. I felt like the shot was good, but it wasn't a pass-through. The arrow stayed in him, so it plugged up the wound, so there was no blood. I mean,
and as big as it was, he would have had a lot of fat on him.
Yeah.
And fat kind of seals it off. So if on a big boar like that, they have hard plates on their shoulders, and it's hard to get good penetration. I know she got enough to kill it, but there's just no blood to follow. I mean,
yeah, we looked and looked.
We walked hundreds of yards, zigzagging, and there just comes a point where you've done all you can do.
It's frustrating.
Very frustrating.
Lose 2 animals and 2 arrows.
Yeah.
In one day.
We go from really excited and happy to very disappointed.
Frustrating.
Since that's part of how we make our living, to lose all that meat it's a big deal to lose it all.
Yeah.
Lost 2 arrows, 2 broadheads. But we'll have to get over it and try again. So thank you for watching our videos, and we'll see you next time.